is August 10, 2019. This track has been a joy. It's developed and changed over the years and eventually really became a very functional, beautiful and healthy pasture paddock for my horses. It's literally like wrapping up a set. Jeff does this with a drill, but I couldn't find the right bit. So I'm going to do it the old-fashioned way. I'm actually going to do the smart thing, which is leave this for now until Jeff shows up with the right tools. Jeff is really good at this. He's done it many times. He puts his drill on there and goes bzzz, and it's done. And I have plenty other stuff to take down. Last night when Jeff and I came home from working here, starting on taking down the fence, we found the cattle again in that area around the pond. The gates were wide open and of course the cattle was thrashing around in there. Those are trees planted by the Conservation Authority on the taxpayers' dime, taxpayers such as myself. Years of dedicated effort by the Conservation Authority and a careless farm manager allows it all to be trashed. I find that very, very sad. And it is yet another example of utter carelessness, as in, I don't care, I really don't care. It is negligence. And if this happens once, it's still negligence, but at least you can say, oh dear, a gate didn't get closed properly. Happens to the best of us. Recently happened to me. That happens once. But when it happens on a consistent basis, it is willful negligence with consequences. The consequence now that dozens of fairly big trees that are 5-6 years old are now destroyed. That's a humongous consequence. That a relationship with the Conservation Authority is now damaged. And today I feel compelled to talk about Christ's vision. As explained in A Course in Miracles, Christ's vision is available to us in each moment, but we have to choose it. And we choose it simply by choosing once again for the strength of Christ in us, which translates to aligning ourselves with the truth, the way and the light. It's simply being smart. Why would you choose to align yourself with the untrue when you can align yourself as easily with the truth? And when you're standing in the truth and when you're standing with Christ, you have entered the kingdom of heaven, which is a really pleasant place to be. And in the kingdom of heaven, there is no fear, there is no lies, there is no deceit, there is no anger and resentment and pettiness. There's none of that. Because when there's any of that, you have now stepped outside of the kingdom of heaven, out of alignment with Christ, out of alignment with Source, with God, with love, with life, with whatever the heck you want to call it. And so you're over here in hell, but Christ is still there saying, choose once again. And when you whoop, get your ass back over here, in alignment with the truth, in alignment with Christ, you put your ass back in heaven instantly. It's great. Christ vision. When you develop Christ vision because you have aligned your will with His will, you can always see in every situation, no matter how grim, no matter how ugly and unpleasant, that there is the potential for good. And the potential for good for every participant in the situation. In this case, including Rob, the farm manager. Because maybe the whole unreasonableness of the situation is simply that the workload is unreasonable, just simply too much. Maybe that's all that there is to it. And once Rob aligns himself with the truth, if that's the truth, I'm making this up, maybe that's all that it is for Rob. And this is his glorious opportunity to acknowledge it and say, you know what? I've done this for 10 years. I am tired. I don't want to do it anymore. I don't want to be bothered. I can't handle the new tenants because they're pointing out to me what I should have been doing for the last 3 years, and I haven't been able to keep up with it. And I'm fed up. I should have quit 3 years ago, but I quit today. It's too much. I don't enjoy it anymore. I don't really care anymore, and it shows. I should just sit at the lake and enjoy my retirement. And of course, I'm just making these stories up. I have absolutely no idea what's going on in Rob. But when I allow a better feeling story, such as, this guy is just overworked, it's been too much for him, and despite his best efforts, he couldn't keep up. And now we are here pointing out just how much he hasn't been able to keep up. Perhaps it is embarrassing. Perhaps he fears that he will get shit for it. And his default setting is to try to deflect as a survival strategy. Who knows? I don't know. Visionary leaders are not very keen on judging others harshly because they understand that they themselves are only human, make mistakes, have made mistakes, will likely make mistakes again. They also understand the laws of the universe, one of which says, as you give, so shall you receive, which is very related to, as you judge, so shall you be judged. I am committed to judging compassionately rather than harshly. And I am committed to finding that equilibrium where everybody is going to benefit from the unfolding of this story. It's a better feeling place, and it's a place that is, of course, in alignment with Christ. And I better get back to work or this track will never be taken down.
This would be easier as a two-person job, to tell you the truth.
Oh, that's it. Fantastic. Of course, at this point, you may think that I am nothing but a ungodly nuisance that you just want to get off your back, and I sympathize with you, and I can't get off your back. I'm sorry, because that would be to put myself outside of the truth, and I'm not willing to do that.